Yes people, what is going on, and welcome back to another video on 100% Chelsea. So this is the last episode of 100% World Cup. I've massively enjoyed doing them. We've got into the latter stage of the tournament. The tournament is now finished, it is done. Obviously we all know the outcome. Congratulations to France. Any France fans watching this, congratulations to you. Congratulations to N'Golo Kante, Olivier Giroud. Yeah, congratulations. I have to say, from a neutral fan point of view, final was a very decent game to watch, and overall I think the World Cup's been brilliant. So anyone that's been involved with it, anyone that's watched it, I mean, I think you'll all agree with me that this has been a pretty decent tournament. But let's go on to the Chelsea players. Now obviously we didn't do a video for the semi-final and those two games because of all the Conte and the Sarri stuff and everything that was going on and happening. So this is kind of to go through it all. Obviously you'll know the results of the games by now. It's going to be obvious, and we all know that France won the tournament. But yeah, France beat Belgium in the semi-final. England lost to Croatia. Belgium beat England in the third place playoff, and France beat Croatia in the final. So we all know, we're all up to date. But let's go through each individual game, and we're going to start off with, we'll start off with obviously the first game, the France-Belgium game. Now it was a very cagey affair. It was a very hard one to call, to be fair, beforehand. It was a very iffy one. It could go either way. But very simply, France had that game plan and they executed it, which is to defend, and take the chances when they came. And they took the one, and it come through for a header from Umtiti. Kante played well in the middle of the pitch in that game. Giroud has lovely little bits of link-up play in the France squad and really makes it tick. So it was great to see both of them. Belgium, of course, on the losing side. Hazard was a bit unfortunate because very simply what happened is when they needed the goal, when they were going forward, it was all great, it was all brilliant. But as soon as they went to go behind, everyone from the France perspective just got tighter and tighter and tighter, and it made it so hard to play through them. Meaning he ended up going to have to go out wide, didn't get in the areas he wanted to, and he spent half the time kind of playing balls around the problem rather than trying to get at the problem, which is a shame. But again, there's only so much anyone can do. France were experienced enough to shut up shop. That just happens. Courtois, look, I mean, with the goal, I wouldn't say he'd be massively, obviously we will be disappointed, but it's not like a goalkeeping error from him. It was just a good flick on from Umtiti. Beats you, the little change of direction, it beats you. It just happens. Obviously there's been a load of things with him and Hazard in the last few days after the World Cup stuff, but you can see all that stuff on the transfer shows that Louis, Lawrence, Lewis, myself are all doing across the next week or so, and have done previously. But no, from Courtois' point of view, that game didn't really do anything wrong. He had minimal chances that he was faced with, but the one that was the important one he couldn't deal with. It happens, it's football. Yeah, it was just it was okay from him. Batshuayi, I believe, came on for the very last stage. Again, didn't do nothing. It's very hard to when you come off the bench in extra time, or sorry, added time I should be saying. So yeah, look, it was an unfortunate one, but that's the game, meaning France go through to the final. I'd love to say we have loads to talk about from the England-Croatia game, but we don't really. It was really quite tough. And we didn't know Chelsea players had any massive impact whatsoever. Cahill didn't play. I don't believe Loftus-Cheek played. That's really bad. I should be doing my research. But I mean, to be fair, actually, as the game as a whole, Croatia managed to see it out. I'm obviously an England fan, so I can say from an England fan point of view that we very simply weren't good enough. Did Loftus-Cheek come on? No, we didn't. Yeah, from an England fan point of view, we weren't good enough. And in the long scheme of things, they would have continued to wind us down and wind us down. The game actually was calling for Loftus-Cheek, I do remember actually now, yeah, because Dele Alli did minimal. Lingard was looking like he was tired, and then Henderson came off for Dyer, and that could have been Loftus-Cheek, I think, instead of doing Dyer, because he didn't really offer anything Dyer, he just did the same old thing over and over again. But we did need to open it up, and Loftus-Cheek, I thought, would have done that. But obviously it wasn't meant to be for England. We have no Croatia players, so can't really talk about anyone from Croatia. Did play well, though, I must admit, Croatia. They did create many chances. And they are a good outfit, obviously being in the final, but they are a very good outfit. So let's go on to the third place playoff. We'll deal with the losing side again. England, unfortunate. Loftus-Cheek did play in this game, and he tried to do his bit. He tried to do everything that he could, but very simply was not anywhere near the level that he needed to be. To be honest with you, the whole of the squad looked quite tired, and it was a hard one to kind of play because you didn't really know what sort of team Belgium were going to put out. We obviously wanted to win the game, and we wanted to try and keep their mentality going through, but everyone in the team was knackered. A couple of injuries here and there, and you just knew it wasn't meant to be at all. So yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, Loftus-Cheek started the game, it did come off, but yeah, it was tough for him. It was tough for him, and then it was in the middle. It was in the midfield, kind of competing a bit against De Bruyne and then Witsel, and yeah, it's unfortunate because I'd like to have seen him play a bit more at this tournament, Loftus-Cheek. I'm not his biggest fan, I'll be honest with you. I'm not his biggest fan, but I'd like to have seen him play a bit more, and you can see in elements where he was creative and what he can do. But yeah, I think definitely going forward he could have a big part to play in the England team if he gets enough football, whether that be at Chelsea, whether that be away. Look, I want to see him develop as a footballer. He is a good footballer. I just want to see him develop. I would not want to see him sit on the bench for us all season. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Gary Cahill, I believe, came off the bench, or did he not play at all? I know obviously there was... Oh no, he didn't come on, no. Didn't play at all. I know obviously there was the rumours and the talk that he was going to kind of finish his career at the World Cup, and he asked to play this game against Belgium. Phil Jones played instead of him, I remember now. And I'll be honest with you, look, Cahill's done a lot for England. He's been there, and he's, you know, consistent as he always is. But I don't feel like he should have the chance to be able to say, I want to play in this big game and finish my England career. I think that's the kind of thing that people like Zidane and Iniesta and the big stars do. I think you just try and play as many games as you can. And if you're not selected, if you want to go and finish your last England game on a high, you want to go and do your thing, then prove a point, you know. And to be honest with you, he didn't massively do anything that I saw in the England team to allow him to be this final game as the third place playoff. Yeah, wasn't meant to be. Let's go on to Belgium, who Courtois kept a clean sheet, won the Golden Glove, fair play to him. A brilliant achievement for him. Obviously now sparks up the rumours. Meunier put England behind, but Belgium ahead inside about 5 minutes, and you kind of just saw that this was going to get worse and worse and worse. But very simply, Hazard in this game was brilliant. He really was brilliant, and I think it's a weird one because the result was pretty much there. Even if England would have got an equaliser, I still think Belgium would have gone on and found a late one, or found another maybe 2 or 3. If they didn't, the result didn't ever look like it was going to be in massive trouble. So I was really surprised to see Hazard actually go for this game and do what he could do, and he got himself a goal. Brilliant goal it was. Typical Hazard, just bullies defenders off. When he's running for on goal, he just picks us. You know, picks where he wants to put the ball. When he puts it there, simple as. Jordan Pickford's been a very good goalkeeper at this tournament so far, but I mean, that was different gear from Hazard. Different gear. And as an England fan, I prefer to lose to that than a really scrappy over the line, was it not over the line kind of thing, goal line scramble. I prefer to lose to, look, we actually got beaten by pure class, and that is what Hazard is. That is what he is, and I was really happy for him, him especially, that he was able to go on and play the way that he did, very simply, because he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Now let's go on to the final. Now obviously we have Kante and Giroud. Now it's a weird one because I thought Kante would have played the whole game. For me, he's a start. He's probably the first name on the team sheet. He's that good. And Giroud as well, I thought he'd have probably played the whole game, but only because, well, very simply, when you get into the latter stages, if you have got a 1-0 lead, or, you know, well, 1 goal lead, I should say, you need someone like Giroud back there to then have another head in the right area to clear the ball away. That's what you do need. And yeah, I was kind of surprised to see them both go off. Kante, I was very surprised to see go off because he went off very, very early, and they brought on. Oh, that is a very good question. Whose name? Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. Nzonzi. They brought on Nzonzi for him. Yeah, I thought they'd have tried to keep the ball and keep it playing and keep it moving. Because you also forget, yes, he keeps the ball and he wins it back and such, but if they're pushing to try and get a goal, try and get an equaliser or get one back, and N'Golo Kante can sit on the edge of the box and very simply go, because we all know how fast he is, we all know he can start a counter-attack. I was very surprised to see him go off. Look, what he did in the final, yes, he was good. He was not, I wouldn't say he was at fault for the Croatia first goal, but he was the man pressing. He couldn't beat the great strike from Perisic. But yeah, very simply, I was very happy with N'Golo Kante, and I'm very happy for him, because the last 5 years, everything that he's achieved, winning the league with Leicester, you know, Champions League debuts, obviously winning the league with us, winning the FA Cup with us, now winning the World Cup, it's been brilliant for him. And he's got a great attitude, and you can all see that, everyone can see that, and you want to see these players reach the best of their ability, which I think Kante is doing. Giroud, yeah, it was his whole tournament has been overshadowed by this stat that he has not had a single shot on target. And funny enough, didn't score. Yeah, I think people will slightly criticise him for certain things, but almost what he did was play like a false nine role, which was like, I'm not the big target man here. Like, I'm going to play the big target man style, but I'm not the one you should be worried about. There's this Griezmann, it's this Mbappe fella and Griezmann. They're the ones you want to worry about. And that's what he did brilliant. He linked up everything. And the whole way through the tournament, he did link up everything. The France just looked better with him in the team. Especially going forward, they looked better. And look, obviously, he's had a great 6 months with us since obviously signing from Arsenal, saving our season, I suppose you'd say, to a certain degree, scoring a couple of big goals for us. Obviously, the FA Cup semi-final. Yeah, he very simply, he did his bit, and I'm very happy for him. Very, very happy. So, that is going to be it from us, because we've spoken about every player at the tournament so far. As a whole, what do I make of it? Look, we've obviously got 2 people that have won it. Brilliant. Congratulations to them. Couple of others, you know, it's been a weird one. Couple of people, like, you know, the guys from Nigeria have done brilliantly well. Willy Caballero, we won't go there. Yeah, there's a handful of players that have had decent tournaments. There's a couple that haven't. But yeah, look, we'll all go again come the Community Shield on the 5th of August. But for everyone that has competed at the World Cup, look, it's been very good. There's been a handful of nations that I think could possibly have taken some of the players that were left out of the squad from our lot, like Marcos Alonso, a handful of others as well, Fabregas even for his experience. But yeah, I think it was very decent to see an overall decent performance from Chelsea, because let's be honest, we had, oh my god, quick maths, we had 7 people in the last 4. 7 people out of the 14. That's pretty decent from us, pretty decent. So yeah, that is going to be it from us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out my socials, particularly my YouTube channel, Craigo28. I'll put the link down in the description. Yeah, make sure you support the channel. The new season is coming up. There's going to be stuff on my channel about the new season. Obviously, there's going to be loads of stuff on this channel about the new season, and I'm massively looking forward to it. So, thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure you check out all our new content that's coming for the new season on 100% Chelsea.